So, hello everyone, my name is Ansi Segli. We're here at the World Cup of Indoor Skydiving, GoAirborne Macau 2024. And please state your name and tell us which discipline you are competing in and which country you represent.
Yeah. My name is Doni and I'm competing in open freestyle and I'm from Australia.
Great. How did you get started in indoor skydiving?
It's a bit of a long story and probably a different one than most people. But I used to be a dancer on Royal Caribbean cruises, and they have a really small tunnel in there, so that's where I did like my first flight. I didn't really want to learn or like even do a first flight. I wasn't really that interested, and so I sort of was forced into it by one of my friends on there. And then I quite enjoyed it. So I just sort of started to learn, belly flying and stuff like that on the cruise ship on the small tunnel. And then back home, just coincidentally, they built a tunnel right near where I live. So I started to fly a little bit there and start to just do the general progression. And then I got sick of traveling on the ships and living in out of a suitcase. So I just applied for a job at the home tunnel and got it. And then 6 years later, we're here.
Oh, great, great, great. What motivates you to participate in this championship?
I guess just the love of flying, really. Creating like a routine. I guess I can incorporate a little bit of creativity from like the dancing background and all of that sort of stuff and put it into the air. And then present it. I guess it's really cool seeing everyone's different styles. So yeah, that's why I like to compete.
Cool. How do you prepare physically and mentally for the competitions like this?
Physically, I guess just lots of tunnel training, yoga, and then mentally, just trying to remind myself, it's not the end of the world if you don't place or if you don't get the score you want. That I'm doing this because I like flying.
All right, cool. What specific skills or techniques have you been working on?
My overall approach is a little bit more focused on the dynamic side of things, speed and power, in comparison to like some other styles are a little bit more like gymnastics and flexibility and that sort of stuff. But I think some really unique elements that we have in indoor skydiving in comparison to other sports is the fact that we can create so much speed and power and go up and down and basically teleport sort of around the tunnel. So I guess I like to incorporate more of that sort of style into my flying.
Okay. Do you have any pre-competition rituals or routines?
I try not to watch the other routines before me, just to focus on my own routine. But other than that, not too much. Maybe a bit of yoga beforehand.
All right. What's the most challenging aspect of indoor skydiving at the competitive level?
I guess with the routines, you never know each year like what other people's routines are, so like what they're including and how they're being innovative with the sport. So you're sort of trapped in your own little bubble, trying to come up with new stuff on your own. So I think that's challenging. I think it's kind of cool, like if we worked on ideas together, like you can maybe come up with cooler stuff. So it's quite individual. And then that also makes training a little bit boring sometimes when it's just you. So like I think two-way dynamic or like four-way when you've got teammates and stuff can make it more fun. Yeah.
Okay, okay. How do you handle pressure during the flights?
Well, last year was my first competition, so I had a lot of pressure last year from like just pressure from myself to, I guess, prove myself, make people think that I'm a good flyer. So last year I was definitely a lot more stressed. This year I'm definitely way more relaxed, which is way more fun in competition. I'm not so like, but yeah, I guess it comes just back to that mental like talk where it's just like it's not the end of the world if it doesn't go your way.
All right. Can you describe a memorable moment from previous championships or competitions you had?
I guess building friendships is really cool. Like coming back this year, it's a lot more like you remember people, you've got more conversation with other competitors, and it's actually quite supportive and friendly. Last year was the first one, so I was a bit scared coming in because I didn't know anyone. But you definitely build friendships pretty quickly at the competitions, which is really nice.
So how long was the flight to Macau?
Almost 10 hours. But
okay.
Yeah, it was delayed from Sydney by like 4 hours. So then we didn't fly into Hong Kong till like 11. So then we missed the shuttle. Then we had to get public transport. So it was a bit of a journey to get here for sure.
What do you love the most about indoor skydiving?
Flying fast.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing for sure.
So what percentage of speed you have right now?
My routine this year is at 84%.
84, okay.
Yeah. So I think most other people are flying about 75 to 80%, so I'm a little bit higher than everyone for sure. But I mean, it's still possible to fly fast with low speed, but you have to have good technique for sure.
All right,
Yeah.
good. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in this sport?
Probably still competing. I think I'd like to get into a little bit of two-way and four-way dynamic as well. So I don't know if I will keep doing freestyle or just do the other categories or do all of them. I'm not too sure, but definitely still doing competitions and pushing hard for sure.
Cool. Any advice for aspiring indoor skydivers?
So I think just making sure that you're always flying because you love flying and you're not flying to impress the judges, because that's hard. You don't know what they're thinking. So just making sure that you're doing it for you.
Great. So now a few questions about tunnel itself.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your feel? What's your take on this particular tunnel?
I love this tunnel. It's really cool. So the tall glass, I think for freestyle especially, is really nice because you have so many more levels, which gives more depth to the routines, I guess. It's really smooth wind as well. It's really nice to fly. There's not really any burbles or bumpiness. So yeah, it makes it. It's a really nice tunnel to fly for sure.
If there could be anything which probably, in your opinion, could and should be improved in this tunnel, what would be it?
The cover on the door, maybe for exits, is not so good, but I think this helps with like maybe not having such a big door burble, so I don't know what's better. The little trampoline thing in the door as well is very different. I think like it's easy probably to get used to it, but I guess coming from tunnels that don't have that, it's just a little bit of an adjustment. But it's kind of fun actually doing the little, like you can bounce into the tunnel, so it's not a bad thing, it's just different. Yeah.
It's for safety.
Is it?
And it worked just now for Toms.
For Toms, yeah, I guess it absorbs the
exactly,
impact. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's safety.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of innovations and this is one of them.
Yeah.
All right, Dani, I wish you a successful championship.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope to see you on pedestal.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for viewers here. We'll be back with the next interview soon.